Blue Sky Studios. They made a lot of movies when I was a kid. There are so many good films, and yet I have to watch all of them. Rio too. I wonder what a lot of people have to say about that. Oh, I think we have a long overdue discussion about this film that I think we should get to right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna have a really long overdue discussion, and that is figuring out whether Rio 2 is good or bad. Ever since this movie came out, it's gotten a lot of hate and criticism from everybody, whether that be Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Metacritic, YouTube. You get the idea. Everyone hates Rio 2, and I mean everyone. But I love it a lot. I do like it a lot. The internet hates it so much, but I enjoy it a lot. I didn't pay that much attention to it when I was a kid. And to be fair, that was because the first Lego movie came out the same year, so there is an understandable excuse. But now we're getting back in it at an older age. Looking at it at an older age, last year during the summer, I actually enjoyed it a lot for what it was. And I really did like it a lot. And we're going to talk about why. There's one reason people hate Rio 2, and that's because of too many plot points. And a lot of people are complaining there's way too many plot points. They're like taking a bunch of small details and everything and counting them as a bunch of stuff. But from how I see the movie, I see like only 4 different plot points. I mean, that may depend on your personal view, so that's how I feel. But like 4 plot points in like a 90-minute animated Disney movie aimed towards kids, that's crazy. But is it awful? Let's take a look at the criticism. So the first plot point is the fact that Blue and Jewel and their kids are now in the Amazon jungle. And so Blue is having a hard time with adapting to the jungle. And he really doesn't like it at all. And also because he's being knocked down and pegged, because he's being constantly overshadowed by his dad-in-law, who really doesn't like him at all, and also this other bluebird called Roberto, who hung out with Jewel a lot when they were young. And so he kind of feels some jealousy there. So later on in the film, Blue tries to impress Jewel by getting like a Brazil nut, and then he meets these red macaw birds. And the red birds and blue birds have like a rivalry in the jungle. Like they hate each other so much. And so Blue hurts them by accident. And they're like, okay, that's it. We're going to have a war. We're going to have a soccer game. And some people are saying, oh, this rivalry, it counts as a plot point. I don't really count it as a plot point. It's more of like it's like the driving force for Blue to explain how he feels. For him to explain how he feels. Like, this is the last straw for him. This is the nail in the coffin for him. He's had enough of the jungle. He really doesn't like it. So I see it as like the last straw for him, the nail in the coffin. So I don't see it as like a different plot point or anything. It's fine. So near the end of the movie, Blue gets mad at Jewel because he doesn't like the jungle at all. He's like, Jewel, I don't like this place. Your dad doesn't like me. I try to fit into this jungle, but no one likes me at all. I always mess up, and I just don't like this jungle. And so Jewel's like, okay, you think about what you want, and maybe you should stop being so selfish. I'm not saying it word for word, but you get the idea. A lot of people are saying, oh, Jewel's being so mean to Blue. She doesn't care. But I disagree, actually, because Jewel has a good point. And Blue learns his lesson. He makes it jungle his home. He's with his family, and his friends, and yeah, it all works out good for him. The second plot point I want to discuss is Nigel. He wants to get revenge on Boyle after his defeat in the first movie. He's accompanied by this pink frog called Gabby, who really likes him, who really likes Nigel, and also this anteater called Charlie, who gets distracted by eating a bunch of ants. Yeah, but he does help with really tall stuff. Anyways, so he wants to get revenge on Boyle. He's trying to find he's trying to find Boyle. He's looking everywhere for him. And so, but then he gets intertwined with plot point number 3, which I'm going to discuss in a little bit. And then, so he thinks his plan's going to work, but then obviously the plot changes a bit, and then Disney just threw him into the big climax, and they tried to give him like a conclusion to his arc. He was trying to get Boyle, but obviously he's a bad guy, so he fails. So, I mean, Disney, they did try to give him a conclusion, so I do like that a lot. Everyone's saying, oh, Nigel's bad in this movie, he's so worse, and he should have been cut out of the movie. And, yeah, I don't really agree with that. Like, I mean, if you think about it, there could be loose ends with him still being alive. So I'm glad that they kind of wrapped up loose ends. The plot point number 3 I want to discuss is the big talent show. So the side character birds, Raphael, Nico, and Pedro, they want to do a big talent show. And since they're stuck in the Amazon jungle, they have to work with what they got. So they're not just working with birds. They're also working with a bunch of other animals. And obviously all of their animals, their participations, they all get eaten alive and stuff. And so they're like, oh dang it, how are we going to find good talent? And that's when Nigel drops in, and they don't recognize him at all because he has like a leaf covering his face. Like, he does have eye holes in there. So basically, he gets intertwined with the plot, with that plot point. And yeah, like, and these two plot points get ignored a bit for the pointless filler with the blue birds versus red birds. I did have an issue with that at first, but I figured, yeah, it's okay, because this is gonna develop Boyle. Because this would be the nail in the coffin for him. Like, he's gonna get mad, he doesn't like the jungle. Oh, and speaking of the jungle, that brings me to plot point number 4. And that is the human stuff. So, there's obviously a big message of deforestation in this movie. Loggers cutting down the forest and the trees. The logger boss has a bunch of loyal henchmen that wants to keep getting them to cut down trees. He has a monkey by his side. He likes to eat lollipops and not like. Well, I'm pretty sure you get the idea. Like, they have like this adult thing. Like, I'm not gonna say what it is, but I will say the clever replacement that they had was very well executed. I thought it was really clever how he was eating lollipops all the time. That was a pretty clever choice. But yeah, he wants to cut them down. Blue and Jules owners are trying to stop them, but that doesn't go well for them because they're humans. So that doesn't go well for them, but then all the birds take down the logger boss. And I noticed that one reviewer of the movie said that Blue only took 1 stick of dynamite away from the trees. And I don't agree, because I don't think he's understanding the message. Like, Blue took only 1 stick of dynamite because that was the only one that was lit up on fire. And the logger boss was going to do more, but then Nigel pretty much stopped him from doing so. And he was going to get eaten by the snake, so yeah. So I don't see why Blue only taking 1 stick of dynamite is a complaint, because he's basically just, I mean, the plot just wants him to take 1 stick of dynamite, and there wasn't any more lit up. Like, oh my god, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The criticism that this movie got over the years is ridiculous, and I really just can't take it anymore. But yeah, Rio 2, it is overstuffed with a lot of plot points and stuff, but on the whole, I don't think it's bad. I think it's a great movie. It expands the characters, the world, and the animation's amazing. The music is good. In fact, the only thing people say about Rio 2 is like the music, because the soundtrack's amazing. Everyone just likes to forget about it. Everyone just likes to forget about this movie, pretend it doesn't exist. I think it's just ridiculous. This criticism for Rio 2 is so bad. I have a feeling it's going to butcher Rio 3 when Disney makes that movie. And I really, 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 really hope that it won't be bad. So Disney, please do not listen to all these critics in the world about how bad Rio 2 was. Please, just make Rio 3 a great movie. Don't listen to all this criticism. So that's going to do it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.